Hey YouTube, Ed here with Jack of all trades and welcome to another video. So today what we're going to be talking about is the Savage Fox double barrel side-by-side 12 gauge shotgun. So let's get right to it. And welcome back. So as I stated in the introduction, today what we're going to be talking about is the Savage Fox double barrel side-by-side 12 gauge shotgun. But before we do, I got to ask you, when you're done watching this video, if you really like this kind of content and you're liking what I'm doing out here, please make sure you go down and hit that like and subscribe button and do me the solid of hitting that notification bell so you get notified of upcoming videos. YouTube's been playing some games again. They really don't like these gun videos, and I've actually had a couple of videos deleted because they violated some obscure YouTube policy that they don't tell me about, and they actually deleted them. So I don't ask you for Patreon, I don't ask you for tips. I just ask that you hit that like and subscribe button, hit me up in those comments, and let me know if you're liking these videos. All right, the Savage Fox shotguns. These shotguns have actually got quite a following, and there's a lot of people that really love these shotguns, and for good reason. They're very good shotguns. And the Savage Fox actually has quite a history. But ironically enough, that history does not begin with Savage. That history begins with a man named Ansley H. Fox, who founded the A.H. Fox Shotgun Company in 1906 in Philadelphia. He set out with the sole purpose to build some of the finest shotguns that he could possibly build. And a lot of people in a lot of circles feel that he actually succeeded. His marketing literature all said the world's finest shotguns. Theodore Roosevelt himself has been on record saying there is no finer shotgun ever built, because Theodore Roosevelt had a custom made A.H. Fox shotgun himself. And the shotguns were very, very nice. They were very well built. They were all handmade, and the craftsmanship, the durability, the breech locks were durable. Everything was just done right, and he did an excellent job. Some of them were very heavily embellished with a lot of engraving and checkering and things like that. And the lower end versions, though didn't have all of that, were still very, very well made shotguns. Now, Ansley Fox actually had that company open for about 20 years, and then in 1926, he went out of business. Why did he go out of business if his shotguns were so good, you might ask? Well, one very specific reason: price. He basically priced himself out of the market. The shotguns were so well made, and there was so much attention to detail and craftsmanship that in the times, 1906 to 1926, a lot of people couldn't afford them, and they just couldn't buy them. The most affordable model that they made was the Sterlingworth, and the Sterlingworth in 1911 sold for $25, which doesn't sound like a whole lot, but that's about $682 in today's time, or in today's money. Now, the other thing that you need to understand is that back in those days, a lot of people didn't make a lot of money, and a lot of people only made somewhere in the vicinity of $800-900 or $1,200-1,500 a year. So to buy a $25 shotgun back then was equivalent to about a week's worth of wages, and they just couldn't afford to buy them. The A grade A.H. Fox shotgun sold for $50, which would be about $1,700 in today's money. And then you can go all the way up to the F grade, which at the time sold for $500. And there just weren't a lot of people in the country that could afford to spend $25 to $500 on a shotgun. Then in 1929, the A.H. Fox Shotguns Company was purchased by Savage. And Savage continued to build Fox shotguns all the way up through 1946. However, in 1940, they rebranded the A.H. Fox shotgun into what they called the Savage Fox Model B. Now, the Savage B admittedly was a slightly lower grade than the A.H. Fox shotguns, and they reduced the price to pretty much all of them were selling for $25, which was more affordable for more people. And at the time, they were available in 12, 16, 20, and 410 gauge. In 1946, Savage had the production of the Fox shotgun moved to the J. Stevens plant. And when they did that, they also changed the way they were building the Savage Fox shotgun. And the Savage Fox at that point in time turned into nothing more than an upgraded version of the Stevens Model 5100 12 gauge shotgun, which in and of itself was a very, very good shotgun. It just didn't come with all the embellishments and engraving and checkering that the Fox typically did. And Savage continued to build that Model B shotgun all the way up into 1987 in a multitude of different variants. After 1946, when production of the Fox was moved to the J. Stevens plant, the Savage Fox got a reputation for being what was considered a utility or working man's shotgun. It was affordable, reliable, very, very well built, and had quite a following among those who carried it. And as the years progressed through 1987, the Savage Fox shotgun had a whole bunch of features added to it. Things like ventilated ribs, ejectors, single triggers were added, which made the shotgun that much more desirable. On an interesting side note, long about 1981, Savage decided to offer the Fox FA or Fox Auto or Fox FP or Fox Pump shotguns to complement the side by side 12 gauge shotguns that they were producing at the time. The problem was they never really gained a whole lot of popularity. Sales were abysmal. People just did not buy them. And as a result of that, they stopped producing them in 1982. Then in 1983, the only offering that Savage had as far as the Fox shotgun was concerned was a Model BSE, and that remained in the Savage Fox catalog, or remained in the Savage catalog until 1987. Then in 2018, Savage decided they were going to reintroduce the Fox shotgun. This was a modern 12 gauge side by side shotgun that was designed to give the users the Fox shotgun experience in a more modern shotgun. The new Savage Fox A grade that was introduced in 2018 is made by the Connecticut Shotgun Manufacturing Company. It is surrounded by an Anson and Dealey action, and it is designed to act and feel like the original Fox shotguns at what they consider a more affordable price point. For a mere $4,999, which is Savage's MSRP for the Fox A grade, you could own one yourself. So there's just a brief history on the Savage Fox shotgun. Now, this particular shotgun that I've got right here, this is a Savage Fox. It's a Model B Series N 12 gauge shotgun. It's got a serial number on it, so that means it was manufactured after 1968. And this shotgun, funny story, actually belonged to one of my high school teachers, my American literature teacher, to be honest with you. And how did I get my hands on it? Well, his son and myself, we were best buddies in high school. We did everything together. We were on the swim team together. We were on the stage and lighting club together, which, ironically enough, the owner of this shotgun was also the coach for that. And so I know this shotgun very, very well. I've seen it in action. I've seen it out hunting. I've seen it on the gun rack for most of my high school career, and I've always really admired this shotgun, and I've always admired it for a couple of reasons. One, for what it is, which is a Savage Fox 12 gauge side by side shotgun, which is a beautiful shotgun in and of itself, but also for the owner, for who owned it. Uh, the man who owned this was like my second father, and his wife was like my second mother. I ate meals over at their house all the time, and they were just really, really good people. And my buddy and his sister, they were like siblings to me. I mean, I grew up with these people, and they were just really good people to me. And so I've always had a little bit of a sentimental attachment to this shotgun. And to be holding it here today out in the woods where I used to hunt when I was a kid with my buddy from high school is a bit of nostalgia for me, if you will. I really admired the man and his wife, and I'm still in contact with my buddy from high school and his sister, and she actually owns this shotgun now because unfortunately he's passed on. And I called her up and asked if I could do a YouTube video on it, and I did. Fun little story about this shotgun. He bought this shotgun because he started going pheasant hunting with some of the guys that he worked with. And as a result, he only had a 20 gauge bolt action Mossberg shotgun. And to start going on these pheasant trips, he wanted a little nicer shotgun to carry in the field. So he bought this Savage Fox side by side shotgun. And I'm glad he did because it's a beautiful piece. It really, truly is. He tells a story about when he was out pheasant hunting with his friends one time, and he had shot a pheasant. It was early in the morning, and the bird got up in the sun, and he couldn't see if it was a hen or a rooster. So he originally wasn't going to shoot, and then it cackled. And then he realized at that point in time that it was a rooster, and so he squeezed off a shot and put it on the ground. And when he went to pick it up, he went to realize that it was actually an albino pheasant. It was a pheasant that was all white. A rooster, to be sure, a legal bird, but it was a white pheasant. And so he put it in his game bag, and they hunted the rest of the morning. And when they got back to the landowner's farm where they were staying, they were unloading their bag, and the farmer came up and looked at it and says, "Oh my goodness, you got that white pheasant?" And he says, "Yeah, we got him this morning." And he says, "What are you going to do with it?" And the man who owns the shotgun said, "Well, they taste okay, don't they?" And he said you could just see the color come right out of the guy's face. He was just really disappointed that that bird wasn't going to get mounted. And so my buddy's dad took that bird and he gave it to him, and he says, "Here, you can have it." And he actually had it mounted. And to follow up with that story, when my friend was a little older, they actually took a trip down to South Dakota, and they had to make a special detour to go to the farm so that he could show them the white mounted pheasant that he shot many years earlier. So as I said, this is a Savage Fox Model B Series N shotgun. It was made after 1968, and was not able to ascertain exactly what year it was made, but I would have to say it was probably in that 68, 69, 70, 71 time frame, somewhere in that area that this shotgun was made. And it is really a nice piece of hardware. It's just a beautiful shotgun altogether. Some of the features that this shotgun has is it's got two beads, so it's got a double bead on top of the vented rib, so it does have a vented rib. It's got what's called a beaver tail forearm. It's a wide forearm that partially comes up the side of the barrels, which gives you a little better area to grip, and it kind of protects your fingers from hot barrels so you don't burn them, as opposed to like the Stevens Model 5100, which had a forend on it, which was called a splinter style forend, which was much, much narrower. It didn't wrap up around the tops or the sides of the barrels to protect your fingers, and was just a cheaper way to do it. It's got some really nice pressed in checkering here, and it's really a nice shape. The receiver itself is color case hardened, and the color case hardening is really got some nice figure and color into it. It's really pretty. On the bottom of the receiver, it actually has the fox engraved into the bottom of the receiver. This shotgun is very well used, as you can see when I flip the opening lever on it. It opens up all on its own. This shotgun does not have ejectors. You still have to pull them out. It just has extractors, which was kind of the norm. Ejectors didn't come until sometime in the mid 80s on this shotgun. It's just a really nice, beautiful representation of the Savage Model B shotgun. Now, Savage Fox Model B shotguns came with different chokes in the shotguns, or different chokes machined into them. It wasn't until much later that they had removable chokes. Uh, this shotgun does not have removable chokes, and this is one of the variants that had a full choke and a modified choke installed to it. The other variant that you could get about this time was two improved cylinder chokes, but this one has got the full and the modified. The full choke barrel is on the passenger side of the shotgun, and it is the front trigger that squeezes off that full choke barrel, and then the back trigger gives you the modified barrel. So you actually could select whichever barrel you wanted to shoot first just by picking the trigger that you wanted. Now, as beautiful as this shotgun is, and as much as I love this shotgun, it's not perfect by any means. You got to understand, this was a shotgun built back in the late 60s. Uh, they're very, very heavy. These things are heavy as a tank. Boy, I would hate to have to carry this in the field all day long. In fact, my high school buddy, when the first time he came up to my hunting cabin to go grouse hunting, he brought this shotgun with to use for grouse hunting. And my dad had taken this shotgun and he hefted it, and he looked at him and said, "You're planning on carrying this all day tomorrow?" And he says, "Yes, I am." And I tell you what, by the end of the day, his arms were feeling it. In fact, my arms are feeling it right now, just holding this shotgun, creating this video. Funny part is every year that he came up grouse hunting with me after that, he carried that 20 gauge bolt action shotgun because it was much, much lighter. Now, like I said, this shotgun is well broke in. It opens up very, very nicely. It is heavy, and even though it is heavy, it is also what I like to call the Shoulder Buster 1000. All of these older side by side shotguns are just absolute shoulder busters. This does not have a padded butt pad on the back of it, although it does have a slight drop pistol grip on here, unlike the earlier ones, which were a straighter English style stock, which really transferred all the recoil into your shoulder. But this one does have a slight drop in it, so the recoil is a little tameable. And with all that barrel weight up front, it does help to tame that recoil. But I'm here to tell you, when you shoot this shotgun, especially if you accidentally blow off both triggers, it lets you know you're alive. And there you have it, the Savage Fox Model B 12 gauge shotgun. Let's wrap this video up at this point. Now, like I said earlier in the video, if you're liking them, please do me the solid of hitting that like and subscribe button down below. It really does help out the channel, and I really do appreciate it. Make sure you ring that notification bell so you get notified of upcoming videos. Thank you, as always, to my longtime subscribers, to everybody who watches these videos. I really do truly appreciate it, and I will see you on the next video.